and shooting him, and I had to grab him like this to pull him back, and I told him to stop.
Amber Wright, Michael Bargo, Kyle Hooper, Justin Soto, and Charlie Eli. Born on February 3rd, Seth Tyler Jackson was a regular teenager who lived in Summerfield and attended Bellevue High School. He had aspirations of being a UFC fighter, but was told by his parents to wait till he was 18 before he could start training. Little did they know that it wasn't going to be. Jackson thought he had found his forever love when he started dating 15-year-old Amber Wright. However, that wasn't to be, as they broke up after only 3 months when Jackson suspected Wright was seeing 18-year-old Michael Bargo. Jackson took his heartbreak painfully, and the ex-couple had a hateful back and forth online, with each person trying to make the other jealous. Not long after, Wright started dating Bargo. One night, when the couple were at a friend's house, Bargo suggested they kill Jackson, stating that nobody likes him. Initially, everyone hesitated, but they later came around. They set up a plan that involved luring Jackson to Charlie Eli's house, where they would kill him. Investigations revealed that they carried out their plan, and although the plan didn't go as they wanted, they got the results they wanted.
If we said anything to anyone, he would kill us.
So this is after the gunshots?
Yeah.
He came back into the house?
Yeah, with the gun.
In
And
his
he was
hand?
waving it around.
What kind of gun was it?
It was a revolver.
And the bag, picking teeth from his skull and playing with his tongue. He's all sick and everything.
They then burned his body and gathered around, drinking and celebrating like a bonfire. After they had burnt the body, they packed it in a bucket and used Haven's car to drive it to a local quarry where they disposed of it. The next day, when the mom noticed that Jackson didn't come home and didn't leave a message, which is very unlike him, she notified the police that her son was missing. The police announced Jackson's disappearance, and it appeared on the local news. On seeing the news, Hooper couldn't pretend anymore. He opened up to his mother, who called the police, and the group was arrested. They were first sent to different rooms and interrogated for more than an hour. Each person was trying to save themselves and gave a different account of what happened. However, they all admitted that Bargo was the brain behind the murder. Later, the detectives brought them all together to repeat their accounts of the story, and that's when they realized they'd been caught. Detectives pieced together the true extent of their crimes from their conflicting stories. Although they were all teenagers, they were tried as adults. Bargo, the mastermind, was handed a death sentence. Hooper, Wright, and Eli were sentenced to life imprisonment. Brenda Spencer. Spencer had a troubled childhood. She lived with her father following her parents' separation. Born on April 3, 1962, Spencer always had issues with other students in her school and was once referred for truancy. Staff in the facility for problem students where Spencer was referred noted that she was suicidal. In early 1978, following a psychiatric evaluation, they recommended that she be admitted for depression, but her father disagreed. Spencer attended Patrick Henry High School and lived across the Grover Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego, California. That summer, she was arrested for burglary and shooting a BB gun out of the Cleveland Elementary School's windows. She asked for a radio as her Christmas present. Instead, her father bought her a .22 semi-automatic rifle and 500 rounds. The morning of Monday, January 29, 1979, dawned nice and bright for the principal and students of Grover Cleveland Elementary School. But that was before 16-year-old Spencer began shooting at the students and principal from the house. By the time she was done, she had killed Burton Ragg, the principal, and Mike Suchar, a custodian. Also, she injured 8 children and Robert Robb, a policeman who tried to assist during the incident. To prevent more deaths, Robb drove a garbage truck in front of the school entrance, blocking Spencer's shooting line. Eventually, Spencer barricaded herself inside her house. She realized she was caught and threatened to come out shooting. While inside the house, Spencer told a reporter randomly calling people in the neighborhood that she shot the principal and school children because she hates Mondays and wants to liven the day up. She surrendered after a long negotiation, which ended with the team promising her a Burger King. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and assault with a deadly weapon and was given 25 years to life in prison. Spencer is still in jail. Alyssa Bustamante. Born on January 28, 1994, Bustamante was only 15 when she brutally murdered her neighbor's daughter, Elizabeth Olton, who was only 9 then. At 15, most teenagers sleep in or spend the day playing games and hanging out with friends. When whenever they have a Friday off from school. Bustamante was not like most teenagers and was not interested in sleeping. Instead, she hatched a dangerous plan and dug 2 holes that could serve as graves. Satisfied, she continued life while waiting for a chance to execute her plans. She didn't have to wait long for the opportunity to come. On October 21st, 2009, a few days after she had dug her holes, the teenager convinced her younger sister to bring Olton, her intended victim, to play. Once Olton came around, Bustamante beat her, slit her throat, and stabbed her multiple times in the chest. Unmoved, she buried Olton's body in the previously dug holes and covered it up. Before long, Olton's parents noticed that Olton was missing, so they raised the alarm and informed the police. The search for Olton began. They combed everywhere, even the bush area where Olton was buried, but didn't find anything. Eventually, the police got a tip through a letter, and Bustamante confessed. She led the police to the grave where she buried Olton. In 2007, she attempted suicide and ended up in the hospital. And there's also a picture of her with 2 fingers pointed at her head in the form of a gun on social media. Investigations also revealed that she recorded her crime in a journal, stating that it felt amazing and enjoyable. Hopefully, this gives you a picture of what she's like. If it doesn't, then this will. She even went for a church dance while police searched for little Olton. Bustamante's depressive state may be down to the fact that her father was in prison and her mother had an addiction problem. As if to give her a new look at life, her grandparents took legal custody of her and her siblings. In her journal, she noted that it was a great feeling after the initial nervousness. Mentally stable individuals do not think this way or kill someone out of curiosity. Her actions point to a deep-lying psychological issue. She has been on antidepressants since her suicide attempt. Several health professionals testified that she has a borderline personality disorder and a major depressive disorder. But is this really what this is? Bustamante was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Even though she realized she had been caught, she pleaded not guilty. Nevertheless, she took a plea deal in January 2012. She was sentenced to life imprisonment with a chance of conditional release and a consecutive sentence of 30 years for second-degree murder and armed criminal action. This sentence means that even if she is granted the conditional release in 2024, she'll still serve her consecutive 30-year sentence. Which of these crimes was the most shocking? Do you think that their punishment was adequate? Let me know what you think in the comments.